Hey, and welcome to Sue Rogers Unedited. I'm Sue Rogers and Pebbles. I have a buddy again today, my little puppy. I did a 72-hour water fast. Have you guys heard of, well, I'll clarify in a moment. 72-hour fast. 72-hour fast is a thing that's been around forever. Many people do it for religious reasons. I did it for the health benefits, like purely for the health benefits. And I'm actually going to pull them up also because I want to give you guys the full reference as to what happens. And then I'll tell you how my experience went with it, okay? So bear with me. I'm making sure this is still recording at the same time. So what happens in a 72-hour time period when you're doing a fast? There's lots of studies out there. There's lots of information out there. So I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. Go see your big pharma pushing doctor for any information on doing a fast before you decide what to do for yourself. If you, medical disclaimer, I am not a doctor. 72-hour fast. Here's what happened. So in the first 0 to 12 hours, your body is digesting food still and your insulin will peak. Second stage, or that's the 0 stage, okay? So you still have food in your system in that first 12 hours. Stage 1, 12 to 18 hours into it, you're starting to burn fat and then your insulin begins falling. So if you are a type 1 diabetic or even a type 2 diabetic and you are on insulin, this would be something that I would not recommend you do without your endocrinologist being on board with it, because if you're taking insulin and you're not having food in your system at all, your body is going to crash and it could be really, really, really bad. So diabetic people, type 1, type 2, on insulin, I would not recommend this at all. Stage 2, 18 to 24 hours, ketosis begins and your glucagon starts rising. Stage 3, autophagy begins. So like your body will go in and start attacking and destroying rogue cells that aren't supposed to be there, that normally when your body is doing all its normal digesting and you're not fasting, it's busy doing other things. Well, now it has nothing else to do, so it's going in and attacking and removing and eliminating any of those rogue cancer cells or just dead cells that shouldn't even be there anymore. Your body will actually go in and start to destroy them. It's really cool. And brain clearing starts to happen, okay? That's part of that too. Stage 4, 48 to 54 hours, your HGH, human growth hormone, surges. Have you guys heard of people who actually like injecting HGH, human growth hormone, for muscle building and repair and just the health benefits of people will use it and inject it to help boost the body's own production of it. But when you're doing a fast, it starts to surge on its own, and then inflammation begins to fall, which also helps with the brain clearing, okay? Stage 5, 54 to 72 hours in, insulin is sensitizing and the autophagy process is at its peak. Super cool. Now, if you go longer than 72 hours or at the 72 plus hour mark, stem cell formation begins to happen and immune cell refresh begins to happen. So the reasons I did it were those reasons. Okay, do you see, like you go 72 hours in and basically your body internally at the cellular level is resetting itself. Amazing. And the things that we put into our bodies, the things that we do to our bodies are generally prone to so much inflammation in this day and age because of the processed foods, because of the shitty water that people are drinking and bathing in, because of our toxic external environments affecting our internal environment. resetting the body at the cellular level. And you guys, do you know how cheap it is to do a 72-hour fast? Because you're not eating anything, you're not drinking anything really other than water. It costs basically $0 to do a 72-hour fast. How many other inflammation, anti-detox, all this other programs cost like hundreds and hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars, when you could do a 72-hour fast? Now, how I did the fast, because I'm like, you're gonna lose weight because your body is like, eating itself. By eating itself, it's going in and destroying inflammation. And you're constantly drinking water. Okay, so you're keeping the body hydrated. And I guess I'll go into that too. So what I did, I started at 5 o'clock on a Monday night because that made sense to me. Like, I ate all throughout the day. I'd actually just gone on vacation that weekend, so I had eaten a ton over the weekend. For me personally, I was not wanting to drop a bunch of weight. I think that's not my goals right now. So I made sure that I was up on my way in before entering into it, from eating lots of protein, just lots of extra food that I would not normally eat. I was doing all of that in preparation for knowing that my body was going to need some reserves to burn off over the next few days. So I started at 5 o'clock on a Monday night. Then slept, went to bed that night, didn't eat anything the whole entire next day. I drank a ton of water, and I was actually remineralizing my water because I have reverse osmosis. So that takes out all the bad and all the good. So I usually sprinkle sea salt or pink Himalayan sea salt into my water to put minerals back into it and electrolytes. You need the sodium. So I was doing that to my water, and I had nothing but water for the first 40 hours. Okay, so it was 24 hours from 5 p.m. Monday to 5 p.m. Tuesday, plus I didn't eat anything else. I went to bed, woke up the next morning. So 40 hours into it would have been Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, I had a cup of bone broth, organic chicken bone broth. Okay, there's really nothing to it, but it has some other minerals and a little bit of stuff that your body needs without breaking your fast. So I did one cup of bone broth in the morning. You can also have black coffee on a fast. It does not break your fast at all either. So I think black coffee, green tea, sparkling water, things like that are things that do not break a fast. So I had a cup of bone broth in the morning. Somewhere in like midday, I had a cup of organic black coffee that I made at home. Nothing in it. And I am not a fan of black coffee, but when you're not eating or drinking really anything, it was kind of like a fun little treat. And then for dinner, I had another cup of bone broth. And then went to bed. And then Thursday, got up, had a cup of plain black coffee, my organic coffee. And day 3, you guys, like the first like 60 hours, 62 hours, I was good. Like, yes, I was hungry, but like physically I felt okay. I also did not go anywhere. I was at home relaxing. I did a little bit of gardening. I did a ton of stuff on the computer and got to enjoy some reading. So I had a lot of downtime while I was doing this because I really wanted to pay attention to how my body was doing and how I felt. So that final day on Thursday, woke up, had the coffee, had the bone broth, and was counting down the minutes until 5 p.m. so I could eat a meal. I was starving. You guys, I was so hungry that last 9 to 10 hours. I also was slightly lightheaded when standing up. So I was taking my time to stand up nice and slow. It wasn't happening all the time. I wasn't passing out, but I definitely, like, my body was feeling off and I was moving slowly to respect what my body was doing and giving it the grace that it needed to be able to push through the last few hours. And I did it. And 5:06 rolls around, my daughter walks in, she's like, "Did you have your snack yet?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's after 5 o'clock and I got distracted doing stuff on the computer and totally had forgotten to eat. But I definitely got up after that. And my first thing that I ate after that was a spoonful of almond butter and fresh blackberries from my garden. So 100% organic, because I grew them myself and I don't spray anything in my garden. That was my first snack back into it, and it tasted amazing and it felt really good. Now, you guys, what I can tell you post doing it is that I still feel really good. Like, I feel like my brain cleared up, which, if you know what I like, if you ever have like fuzzy headed or just like, you know what I'm talking about. If you have any kind of brain fog issues or just like, I don't, you'll know exactly what I mean to say, like, I feel like it cleared up. I also, post doing this, have way more energy now than I did before. Like, the reset is real. The other thing that I didn't read off that list, you guys, is that in that 72 hours, your microbiome, your gut, is resetting itself too. So it's massive healing that's going on internally in your gut. Surprising side note that may be TMI, but I'm going to tell you guys anyways, is that over the course of those 2 mornings after, the initial, so it would have been on Wednesday and Thursday, like, things were still moving through my colon. I was not having like normal bowel movements, like as I don't know, everybody's normal is different, right? But I was still going once in the morning, which is, I guess that's normal for me. That surprised me. Like, I figured for sure because there was nothing in my system, nothing would continue moving through my colon, but I still was going once a day the entire time. And that surprised me. But also I was totally cool with, because that means things were still functioning and clearing out and moving all the way through the body to be released. I thought that was very interesting. If it's TMI, I apologize, but you guys, our bodies all work the same way. And if you were curious, those of you who may have wanted to know, now you know. So overall, I will do this again, probably, if not once every 6 months, maybe once every 4 months. My husband was totally on board too. He did it with me the entire time, and we both like felt really good afterwards and are ready to figure out when we're going to plan the next one and do it again for the health benefits. Also, if you were wondering, yes, I did drop about 5 pounds in that time frame, but it all came back on once I started eating again. Okay, I told you I was not doing this for the purpose of weight loss, because when you're starving yourself and you lose weight, that is not permanent weight loss. That is not the effective way to lose weight at all, because it's your body just kind of like nothing left in it. So the minute you put stuff back in it, that weight's probably coming back on for the most part. Okay, so it is not a like fix all weight loss thing. I lost some weight, but it came right back on. So that is what happened with that as well. I slept great pretty much the entire time also. So cool things happened. I am not a doctor. Do not take this as medical advice. But if you've done one and feel great about it, let me know. If you are looking to potentially try this, there's many ways to do it. I read somewhere also that you can have a spoonful of MCT oil, which would just be a healthy fat. So coconut oil is a good example of that. You can have a spoonful of that. One of the sources I read said you can have a spoonful of that, and it also does not break a fast, which if you put that into coffee, it kind of makes the coffee like a little creamier and taste pretty good. Okay, 72-hour fast. I did it. It took me probably about 2 years of talking myself into, I think I can do this, but I don't know, I'm not ready. And I finally did it, and I will do it again. All right. Like, subscribe, follow, share on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Sue Rogers Unedited. You can always hit me up over on my website as well, www.balancedaylife.com. You guys have an awesome freaking day.